in the pre-game and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, if you do happen to be at Brookvale Oval, flick the boys a little message pre-game. I'll be very interested.
Ella will be there.
Yeah, she's already there. She hasn't left since last trial. All right, good gear. Now let's move to the stat deep dive. Talk to me. What's wrong?
No, it was such a missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
Like I'm so rusty
That's
that
all right.
I didn't know it was my time.
Bad day to be a cobweb. They're blown out next week. We're coming off
No
the back
excuses
fence.
next week.
No excuses next week, Kat.
Deep dive. Take us away, big dog.
Just a few here. I will start with Jesse Arthars, who we talked about before. He's just like so attack reliant. Averaged 35 last year with 21 in base. We know the Broncos were very ordinary and the attacking stats didn't come. And I went back and I'm like, the year before he was a lot better. The Broncos were great. Played in the grand final, almost won the comp. He averaged 37 with 18 in base. I'm like, If I'm picking him, I will be very reluctant to play him. That being said, I do think the Broncos are in for an improved year, and I think Walsh is going to put a few peaches on him. You add in Ben Hunt as well. I think they're going to be good attacking. I think they're going to move the ball very well. So Arthars, I feel every year, because I love him as an NRL player, but it doesn't translate to Supercoach overly well.
I'll tell you what, I think if you've got Arthars, I think I'd play him this week. That Roosters right edge in the trial looked like an absolute disaster. That's going to be the edge of Benny Hunt. Reece Walsh will be out there. He'll be on the end of it. I like him as a little ATS this week, and I think he could score well in Supercoach this week. I reckon he could score well enough this week that I might be looking at him over the next few weeks.
Hope you're right.
One to keep an eye on. Tommy Gilbert, what do you reckon here?
Sort of got under the radar on Beers and Breakevens this pre-season bit, I reckon, mate. We haven't spoken about him much, so I thought it was timely after being named to start. That was the big thing. Back from a lengthy injury layoff, you're going, all right, do they ease him back to minutes? They very well may, but will he come off the bench? Will he start? Named to start, priced on a 47-point average after missing the 2024 season. The year before, he averaged 59 with 51 in base. He's undervalued. It's just a matter of what do the minutes look like early in the season.
Named as captain this week too. Always a positive sign too. So, yeah, I don't know. With Max Plath playing on the edge, I guess that helps his cause. I'm keen to see how they use Donohoe if he... I still can't believe he hasn't been named at 5'8", especially after they moved Jake Averillo. That's really shocked me. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm not considering Gilbert. I'm happy to sit and watch the first few weeks, and if there's value there to me, I'll make a move on him. But not for me to start the season.
Agreed. But I've thrown this out about a few names this preseason, or a lot to be fair, but he could easily be one by round 3 where we're all just going, bye, got to have him. He's playing 60 minutes, pumping out base. Yeah. And
if he is, we'll fall on the sword, we'll make a move on it. Toby Couchman. Fuck, I love these boys at the Dragons. Named to start, I believe. Talk to me.
Makes a decent case, as always. How many minutes is he going to get? But averaged 49 last year in 38 minutes. Dual 2RF front row. He scored at 1.31 ppm last season in 38 minutes. That's unreal. Had a base of 39 in that period. He's, again, because of the 4-forward bench, Cook probably spending time at 13. I won't start him, but he's a goer.
Price? What are we talking? I think once again, same as Emre Gula, guys. My only worry is David Clemmer coming in potentially in the next few weeks.
483. So it's awkward.
Yeah, if he's low fours, I'd be interested. High fours,
just a bit too much.
I think it's just a bit too much for a bit of unknown there. Jack Howarth. Not a guy I have thought about since the grand final last year. Talk to me.
Probably should have, Brew. No, I sort of tried to get a few in here that we've sort of avoided or not spoken about too much in the preseason, and serious case for Howarth. Obviously got the bye round to the Storm, but not the end of the world. 9 80-minute games last season, he averaged 52.88 points. He's priced on a 44-point average. Now, that's a pretty substantial jump, but you just add into it that was his first sort of full NRL season, or near enough. Full pre-season as a starter at centre he's been between back row and centre over the years. A Melbourne team that's red hot. He could be a goer.
Yeah, as I said, not a guy I've considered. I'm talking off the dome here, and I'm pretty happy with my CTWs, but I can make sense of it. Also, as a Cam Munster owner, I guess with that buying round 2, when you got 2 of them, it's not ideal, but Yeah, I can make sense of it. Have you seriously considered him for your team or?
I'm not, but I'll go through his base from last year in the back end of the year when he was an 80-minute centre. 27, 28, 33, 36, 27, 34, 40, like some pretty decent numbers there. Scored 3 tries, 2 try assists. I just think more attack's going to come this year. Yeah. So I'm not picking him, but I think he could be a really good buy.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting, obviously, with those stats last year, like surely with Munster on that edge this year, they get more football than what they did last year. I like him as an anytime try scorer for round 1. That Parramatta right edge, I reckon, could be in a little bit of curry with Volkman and Kelmer. That's the spot I'd target anyway.
Jeez.
So Blore and him I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, guys, Blue Wealth Property back on board for season 2025. Interest rates dropped the other day. Great to see. I was at LAX airport at midnight 2 nights ago, 1 night ago, I don't know, with the great Mort sitting in the business lounge having a couple of Keiths before we got on our flight. One of the great fellas of all time. So they're back on board for season 2025. They've also put up $5,000 once again, a cash prize for the winner of the Beers and Breakevens comp, which is sensational to see. The league code there, 295466. Kat will put it somewhere on the screen for you guys. Good to have Blue Wealth back on board. Back on the saddle.
Mort, mate, he wasn't far off MVP of Vegas. He was up and about the whole time, and we were sitting on Fremont Street the night of the Matty John show on NRL 360, and he said, where are you, and he came storming up to me with a big pint of beer in his hand, just up and about. Guess what I was drinking at the time?
What were you drinking?
A watermelon mojito.
I love that.
It was delicious.
I'm heaps into that.
But yes, we'll in the coming weeks, we'll have the links to Blue Wealth Property, all their events, all those great things to help you out, speak to the experts moving forward. So, yeah, very thankful to Blue Wealth for being back on board.
They had some huge events last week too, so definitely moving the needle. We will have a link in the description, guys, if you want to go check it out, but we'll have more specific things over the next few weeks from Blue Wealth Property. And once again, the lead code, 295466. Just quickly on Morts, he messaged, I don't know if I told you about this or not, he messaged me whilst we're at the game at Allegiant. We're up in the media section, and he just messaged me and he's like, can you come and open the stairwell door? So I don't know. He managed to get himself into every part of Allegiant Stadium via the stairwell. And I didn't see the message for 2 hours, but you saw him. He just appeared out of nowhere.
I had gone. I just left our seats to go. They had a little tea and coffee station, and I was just making a coffee for myself. And out of nowhere, I hear, "Hey, Kat, how are you going?" And I turn around, and Morts has come up the stairwell, and he's just let himself into the section.
He goes to me at the bar. He goes, "I think if I would have done that at an NFL game, I would have got shot." And I'm like, "Yes, you would have." Oh. Mad play though.
Oh, great play from Morts. And also knowing that he'd messaged you about 15 minutes before, I love that he said, well, he's not coming for me, so I'm just going to find a way through it.
I'll tell you what, I made a joke on about it even today, but geez, I left a lot of people short on the old WhatsApp on the trip away. Rando, I just, 24 hours after he messaged me every time saying what's doing, I saw it. I left Mort stuck in a stairwell for a while there. Tough going.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. It was heaps to take in. All right, so Blue Wealth Property back on board. We'll have more details over the next few weeks. Go and join the league code, guys. It will lock out in round 3, I believe, Timbo.
I think it was later.
Later, was it? It'll lock out soon. Make sure you get in there.
I think we did round 8.
Yeah.
Round 8. That makes more sense. I've also got the Roo Crew Supercoach comp as well. So join the Roo Crew. You can find the link there. Bit of money up for grabs there. That's filling up very, very quickly as well. How's the SC Playbook group coming along? Trucking?
Flying, mate.
Flying.
I think by default I'm first, so I'm just going to enjoy it while it lasts.
Take it while it lasts. I like
Much like the Raiders, who start in, I think, second every year behind the Broncos on that ladder.
Back it. Into it. Skippers, mate. I have got a craving for a Turbo KP combo. As it stands right now, I'm not sure if I can actually VC, but if I bring in a front row forward, maybe I can, pending Terrell May's the first game. Maybe I can't. What are you thinking as far as captains?
I don't think my captains have changed since Supercoach opened.
Yeah.
VC, Ponga, C, Turbo, and there'll be a few potential headaches around skippers and that, but I do have Tino there who I can utilise till relatively late in the round. But, I'm thinking... VC, KP and C Turbo, and it'd have to be a pretty good score to not C Turbo.
Yeah, I think I have to go down the same avenue. It would have to be a very good KP knock.
Yeah.
let's say KP comes out, unlikely, let's say he hits 150. Will you change your team around to be able to take that? Because there's a VSC score you take, then there's a VC score that you change your team around to get in the first
I know.
week.
It'd have to be damn good to need to do that. The problem would be, if I was going to do that, it'd be around that sort of Tui Simpkins, sort of Royce Hunt stuff, but obviously Royce Hunt's in the KP game. So I couldn't do it around that. And I'd be very reluctant to sort of, to have to change my team, and it'd have to be 150 plus.
Yeah. So that's our captain's options, mate. If you're not going those guys, or for whatever reason you don't have KP or Turbo, is there any other options throughout the weekend? Like these Melbourne boys against Parramatta, like Melbourne's at $1.08. Like I think Melbourne wins, but geez, I think with the Parramatta side with a new coach, I don't think they'll get beat by 30 or 40 like that scoreline sort of says.
If you're... There'd be the odd Jerome Hughes owner out there. If you had him, I'd be happy to skip him in that game. Just going through the rest of the options, like Reece Walsh owners, if nothing else, he's an easy VC against the Roosters, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely one to consider.
Yeah.
All right. Is that us done and dusted?
I reckon so, mate.
How good. Thank you guys for joining us once again on Beers and Breakevens. We've got links for Lawntel down below. I know a few people have already signed up. Spoke to the boys this week. They've already signed up, got their internet sorted. So great to see. Links for Blue Wealth in the description as well. Stay tuned this week. Roo Crew, SC Playbook, any information, anything we hear, we'll be popping them in there for you guys. Any late changes or anything, they'll be in there for you guys. It's going to be a huge week. First Vegas games behind us. I guess, mate, we didn't really touch too heavily on the Vegas games, but did you have any huge takeaways from it or anything worth noting on?
Nicho Hines not goal kicking kind of crushed my soul, but aside from that...
Fuck, I completely forgot about that. Yeah. I didn't have him. I didn't think twice about it.
Yeah. Big one. Really devastating, actually. I actually messaged you, I think, the morning of.
Yeah, because he was goal kicking when we were in captain's
I
run.
messaged you the day of.
There were a few players.
I went we certain Nicho goal kicks. And to your credit, this isn't a dig at you. You were like, he was kicking the day before. I'm like, surely he's kicking then.
Yeah.
And then he did not.
Yeah, he did not. He heaps did not. He was kicking at captain's run.
So I sort of said on the potty last night, but I was like, Nicho, 50 against Penrith, round one in Vegas. I'm okay with that. I didn't expect the world. The non-goal kicking, real dagger. So... huge watch on 2 weeks' time because he kicked at the start the trial game against the Raiders. Then he had the groin tightness. Trindle took over. Sounds like he had been kicking goals. 2 weeks to their next game. Need him kicking.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. That'll do us for Beers and Breakevens, guys. Thanks for joining us once again. Best of luck with your Supercoach team this weekend. And we will see you back here next Wednesday, 3 p.m.